This is Legacy Battle. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, notification button. I'm Michael Adams, Crave Legacy Battle. My co-host tonight from the Gridiron Battle Zone, Brian King, Steelers Nation South, Barlow Coffin. We are joined tonight for an interview with a child prodigy. He is only 11 years old, and his father is here as well. But Logan Russell is our guest. He is in the pickleball world, sponsored by Gearbox Pickleball, placed third at the Junior Nationals in Las Vegas. Recently, I saw pictures. He was at the PPA 2024 Masters. Highly impressive. All at the age of 11 here. So we want to welcome Logan and his father, Eric. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much. I really like being here.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome. So we're going to just jump right into our interview, and Brian's going to start us out tonight.
Okay, Logan. So, as I was looking into, what you're all about, the first question that came to mind is what is it about the game of pickleball that caught your interest and sort of drew you to it?
Well, I didn't really have a sport at that time because I usually play a lot of sports because I'm a very active kid, but it was just more of our friend got us into it and my dad started playing and I always made fun of him and saying, "Oh, it's just an old man sport. It's an old man sport." And then he brought me out once and I loved it and ever since I've been just having fun and just playing with.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Well, I know that pickleball requires a lot of practice and time on the court. So how are you able to balance your practice with your school responsibilities?
So I usually have the day where I do first school and then after school I have to wait. So I'll probably do my homework and then right when I get home, if I have homework, I'll do it. And then right after homework, I'll set a time for an hour or two and I'll just sit in my living room or my garage and I'll just hit the ball against the net or I'll hit it against the wall or something and just practice. And if I'm at a court and there's nobody there, then I'll probably just practice with him for an hour or two and yeah, it's really fun.
Our whole house has been converted into pickleball. So the living room
Right.
couches are pushed to the side. He set up a big net with a ball machine. So he hits it, and it's just a constant dunk, dunk, dunk in the middle of the house all day long.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, that's the way to do it. One of the greatest hockey players of all time when he was your age, his name was Mario Lemieux. His dad opened up the doors in Canada and they actually froze the floors inside the house so he could skate all the time. So that's how it's done. So our next question is for you, actually, Eric. And as a parent, how do you make sure school is balanced with practice, but also give Logan time to be a child and do things that, kids would normally do because they're not normally playing in professional junior championships?
Yeah, absolutely. So my wife and we have four boys, and they all vary so differently from my super tall volleyball player to my eccentric, very smart college level kid who's young to my athletic one to my one that likes the Xbox. So they're all different and we vary. But for Logan specifically, he doesn't love the academic side, but we make sure that that's a priority. He needs to do homework and schoolwork first, always. And then we let him go out and do whatever sports he wants. So he was the starting quarterback for his football team at school. He just joined in basketball and he was in another football. So at one point he was doing four sports at the same time. And it's a lot, but he always defers back to pickleball. That's his love.
Hey, Logan. So, you're playing pickleball, and I think a lot of people have a general understanding of pickleball, but could you tell some of the people out there who aren't familiar with pickleball what the differences between tennis and pickleball?
Okay, it was pretty funny. I used to have a girl's partner and she was really good at tennis. And she was in my church and stuff, and I said, "Hey, come play pickleball with me for one time. We will do a tournament and we'll see how you like it." So we did that. We did a couple tournaments. We did we got silver and gold and bronze and all that stuff. And then I'm like, what happens if I try to play tennis once? 1v1. So we go out there, we play just for maybe 10 minutes. And I was just getting smoked because it's so hard compared where it looks like it's an easy, nice stroke, but it's it's putting shockwaves through your arms. It's like you're like, oh shoot, this is like really hard to hit the ball. It's like flinging at you way faster than a pickleball versus a pickleball. It's like much smaller, much more like it's not as much running around as tennis where you're like sprinting and sliding and falling all that much versus this sport it's like just go out there and have fun usually compared to tennis. I've seen it's more of way more competitive.
And this is a question for both of you guys. So I was checking out your TikTok, and on there you've got some pretty intense workouts. Like when you're standing on a balance ball on a treadmill. Like, what is that about? Tell
Actually,
who,
it's pretty funny because it's kind of my workout, but it's also not. I have really bad heels and stuff. So that's actually at my PT place that I have to go to.
okay. And who designs that? Is it the physical therapist that does it, or do
Yeah.
you have a trainer?
So I have a physical therapist and they just assign me to stuff and then I'll do it. But while I'm doing it, my dad will just take film and stuff.
It's good too because they know what he's doing and training wise. So they're helping him recover and also train him in the sport that he's in. So they did specific ones like that for helping him balance. And then they give him certain ones for his dexterity where he's got to balance and throw things against, things that recoil really fast and with his mobility and stuff. The physical therapy place has been great for him.
So that answers my question here a little bit, but so I'll modify it, and it's again for you, Eric. So, I mean, his workouts, how hard as a parent, do you let him get pushed? And is it hard sometimes? Like I've seen my daughter play soccer, and like when she would do something, I'm like, oh, come on, that's like common sense. How frustrating is that for you as a parent to like not like jump up and say something and that would be considered an easy play?
We're laughing because this just happened today. So Logan, hold up what you just got. This is what we came. So that was
Oh,
today.
wow.
He got a gold medal today down in Rancho Santa Fe against, a whole bunch of youth that came down and played. And he's getting frustrated. He was down in the count today on one of the matches. And I'm trying to like tell him like, hey, do this or hey, do that. And he's like, Dad, shh, quiet, don't. Yes, as a father, in the basketball stands, I'm allowed to yell. At the football stadium, I'm allowed to yell. But in pickleball, there's a rule. You're not supposed to communicate with the children until it's
Oh.
timeout or the match is over. It's supposed to be, they're head in the game. So yeah, as a parent, it's really hard to bite your tongue where like, oh, attack this or dink that or go, hey, your cross court needs to go here. You definitely want to say something as a parent.
So, Logan, on the day of a match, can you take us through like what your routine is like?
Well, usually like it's pretty far drive usually around. So I usually just like drive there. I'll get there and I'll probably just scope out my competition for maybe 10, 15 minutes, see who's there, and then I'll see who my partner is if I don't know them, and I'll talk to them, see all this stuff. And then after that, I'll probably warm up. I usually get there around an hour to hour 30 minutes early so I can talk and all that for 30 minutes and then warm up for an hour, do a couple games, just warm up games, and then after that I'll usually just start. And I'm usually nervous in the process, but there's a process. You got to get over it.
That's right. That's right. Well, Logan, I know you have a bright future. So, what are your goals in pickleball for the next few years, and what are you hoping to achieve?
Well, like it's the hardest stage where it's in like a 3-0 to 3-5, but I'm like a 3-5 for kids, and I'm trying to get from the 3-5 to the 4-0, but like you have to like it takes like a year or two just to get from because that's the hardest stage from a 3-5 to a 4-0. It's like a long distance, and it usually takes even like the pros took them like a year or two just to. So I'm thinking of trying to do that, and then I'm trying to for a couple of years. I'm trying to go back to the nationals and the PPA to get better results in the end.
Pickleball is becoming such a global sport that it's actually picking up steam to be in the Olympics.
Yeah.
if it were to become an Olympic sport going forward, do you think you would try to, push yourself to be on the Olympic national team for pickleball?
So that's a hard decision because like this is my like second year, so it's like it's hard, but like I would totally want to and all that stuff. It just depends on the traveling time, the school, all this stuff. Because like if you see Annalie Waters, she's only 16 and has to like do homeschool and all this stuff because well, if you see like all this stuff, everybody's in their 20s, 30s, way older except for like Annalie Waters. She's 16 and still playing, and now she's the second best, first best in the world and all this stuff. So I would totally want to if I push myself, but I don't know if I will get there, but I'll definitely try.
Well, you can do it because we recently had Oksana Bayol on. She was a figure skater. She won the gold medal at 16 years old. So it can be done. Just keep working hard. I like what you said there. That actually leads me into my next question, which is actually again for Eric. All my questions for the dad here tonight. But how far do you see him going? And something that I'm interested in knowing is from a financial standpoint, how expensive is it to do all these events across the country? And is that something like the sponsor pays or something that you got to like try it out and get funding for, or are you guys
Oh, that's
supporting
great.
them?
That's a great question because a lot of people don't realize that. So when you're in baseball, you have club teams and all these things. And basketball, you have travel teams and all these stuff. And it's expensive. And pickleball can be expensive on how much you want to put into it. So recently we signed him up to have a pickleball coach. So now you're paying the hourly thing for when he goes out there for his matches. When you sign up for any tournament, local tournaments are, 40, $50. The bigger tournaments, when you're at PPAs, now you're in $100+ for the tournaments. And then you have your travel. When we went to Vegas, I don't know, it was really popular. It was right before the F1 race. So you spend a couple $1,000s between travel and Airbnbs and your Uber and everything else in between. So it can be expensive. Recently they have collegiate things for colleges. So kids are getting scholarships and kids are winning money in pickleball on a college level. So I think he's in a really good position being so young that by the time he's there, that he'll have a big opportunity for college. And I think Olympics, personally, I would love him to do it, but I am not the dad to push him. Logan's got to be the one that said, hey, I want to go to the court. Logan's got to be the one because I'm not that pushy dad. I love to play the sport myself. He's almost as good as me. He thinks he's better. He beat me one time yesterday, but I'm not the guy that's going to push my kid to do it. If he wants to do it, I'm going to support him fully in. The sponsors right now at the level that he's at, when you're in entry level ones, they give you gear and they give you paddles and they give you balls and hats and shirts. Gearbox has been fantastic for us. They're super nice. And then recently, yesterday, he just signed a shoe deal that he's going to be announcing that they're going to start sending him shoes. But we've got to find other sponsors to help fund it. So I don't know if we go to the local car dealerships or the local banks and say, hey, sponsor Logan. He wants to go to Mesa, Arizona next month for the PPA to help fund those things because that would take a big burden off of us.
If I could say something off of that, like my dad would like he pushes me like a normal dad does, but it's like it's not like a hard dad. Like he'll tell me, "Oh, Logan," right after homework, or Logan, if I'm like watching a movie, that be like, "Hey, you gotta if you want to be like the best, if you see Ben Johns putting 2 to 3 hours in or 4 to 5 hours, just depending on the day, like, if you want to be better than him, then you got to put more time in. So it's up to you. But if I skip a day, it's just like that's on me. It's not on him because he told me, oh, you should go out there and train or something. Or you can go out there and practice for maybe 10 minutes at night and 10 minutes in the afternoon and 10 minutes in the morning and like space it out. But you have to work every day. And it's just like, it's not like he's pushing me. It's like I have to choose the choice.
That's great.
That's great. Logan, I saw a video of you at a LA Chargers game. Tell us what that was like. And are the Chargers your favorite team?
So yes, the Chargers are my favorite. I know a lot of people are gonna hate that, but hey, I like them. My dad likes them, so it was like one of my birthday presents, and we went there and we saw like the invitation for the pickleball paddles, and we're like, oh, that's the perfect time. I love pickleball and I love the Chargers, but I've never gone to a Chargers game, so we go there and we ask, can we get a pickleball paddle? I'm like, we say all this stuff, and they didn't believe me, and then I pull up my Instagram and stuff, and they just like are shocked at how much I have and all this stuff, and they really wanted to give me one, but they didn't have enough, and so they said, because it's my birthday and all this stuff, that they would take me, and they gave me like right up on the almost field like level and all this stuff, because we had like nosebleed seats all the way at the top, and it was that. And then they invited me back again, and they said, oh, I have an extra paddle, here you go. And then we were there and we saw Oakley, and they were giving me glasses to like shout out on them, and then they were doing like all this stuff for me. It was very nice.
It was cool. Yeah, they invited us back for a second game, and then they gave us the VIP tours. They take you through these escalators through SoFi, which is just a phenomenal stadium if you've ever been there. It's awe-inspiring. So they get Logan right down on the field, like 3 or 4 rows up. We get to watch the game. Everything's going great. And then about 2 minutes before it ends, they come and grab us, and they get us down, and they take us through this thing, and they bring us down onto the field. And so we got to do a faith and family. I think it was a faith and
It was like faith and family, like
did like a prayer down on the end zone, and then they let Logan do like little snow angels in the end zone, and the
I
Chargers
saw
very-
that.
they were super great and super accommodating. They talked about maybe doing some pickleball stuff with him in the future. It was really great. The Chargers were wonderful.
Dad, hey Dad, what do you think of the Harbaugh signing?
Yeah, that's the best news ever. There has not been a better sign in the last decade for signing a head coach. Phenomenal.
Well, we'll get you out of here with this question. So Logan, tell us about Gearbox and how that came about for you as a sponsor.
actually it's kind of a funny story. So we were just like we were having fun, and I just like my friend that kind of got me into it a little bit more. He just got sponsored by Gearbox and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's a really cool company. So I look it up and I search it, and I just look at all their stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is really cool. And then I try out one of their paddles, and I just fell in love with it the minute I saw it. And then it was just like, from there, it was just like so much fun. And then one of
Well, then you
their
had to save up
friends-
your own money too.
Yeah, true. I had to
So
save
he
up
saved
my-
up all his money to get his own Gearbox paddle.
And then I got that, and then a friend was getting sponsored, but then that you had to get like this little form, and so they gave it to me, and I filled it out, and I didn't like was expecting anything like from a response or anything. So like I fill it out, I do all this stuff, and then I give it to them, and right when it was like super quick. Like me and my dad were like, it was probably gonna take a month or two, like how a usual sponsor would be, and then it's just like the day later, they're like, yeah, we want to give you sponsorship, all this stuff. You just have to fill out this form. We fill it out. Next day, I'm sponsored. And then we have to like send them all my stuff, like the sizes. And then it was just like, they just sent you all this stuff, and you got to pick out paddles that you want and all this stuff. And then you just go on from there, and you just have to like, I can wear different shoes because of Gearbox doesn't do shoes. And then I can wear like other stuff. Just like I have to like rep their shirts and shorts and like hats and like sunglasses and all that stuff. But like I get some sides where I can like have like a little name on the back of like, let's say, a car dealership, and then like all that stuff. So they're fine with that. But like I've loved them since I've got sponsored.
Awesome. Well, we are looking forward to seeing where your career goes, even between now and the time that this show comes out. Like, we're going to be paying attention, seeing what happens. So thank you so much, Logan and Eric Russell, for coming on. We appreciate you coming on today.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
I want to remind everybody, if you're a big pickleball fan, please go in our archives, go on the playlist section on YouTube, pick Tennis Pickleball. We've got Judith Castillo on there, Megan Fudge, Ryler DeHart, Sarah Burr. So there are other pickleball interviews on there. Check it out. A reminder, everybody hit that like, subscribe, notification button. Thank you for watching, everyone. We'll see y'all next time. Everybody have a great night.